Hello again, my name's Gabe Zolna. Interesting short article and watched a rather interesting short video. You might want to do the same. I'll attach the link, you're not going to have to look for it. The title is Family Member of Baltimore Cop Freddie Gray was injured before being transported. And what you'll hear is, once again, you'll hear a family member of a cop speaking out. And the gentleman that's interviewing her asks, why is she speaking out? And she says, because nobody else is. And the truth needs to be known. She explains as to the fact that the officers, when they arrested the individual, Freddie Gray, he appeared to have difficulty walking. Now, they called for transport. Someone that drives a paddy wagon, that's their job, to drive the paddy wagon. And when they're called, they get dispatched, they arrive at the scene, and they transport the individual that's arrested, or the individuals that are arrested, to the police station. In this case, I believe it's a good thing that there was more than one in the paddy wagon for a whole lot of reasons. The interviewer doesn't come to the conclusion that I just did, because the interviewer asks the woman, is it possible that the individual driving the paddy wagon drove erratically to sort of bounce the people in the back around, or the person in the back around? And she goes off to explain that he has no reason to do that because his job is to drive the paddy wagon. But what she should have said, or what she could have said, which is what I would have said, is, but hey, wait a minute. There was another person in the back of that paddy wagon, and they haven't complained at all as to the way that paddy wagon was driven. That person has also come forward and said that he had heard a lot of commotion on the side of the paddy wagon that he was separated from, which is where Freddie Gray was. She also explained why he wasn't seatbelted. They don't have a gag or a face mask to put over anyone that they transport, so what they're concerned with is leaning over the individual to shackle him, to secure him with a seatbelt. And the reason that is that, as she had said, he has a mouth and he can bite. And the individual can also spit in the face of the police officers, and you have no idea as to what could be within that saliva, which is, again, why he wasn't shackled, why he wasn't seatbelted, although it was a requirement that was just recently adopted by the Baltimore police. Do I think that there'll be justice? Probably not. Not for the police. They need someone to blame. The frustration that this administration has is that a lot of those police are black. So they're really going after their own. But that's okay. In their minds, it's perfectly acceptable as long as they achieve their objective. I'm sure they would prefer if the cops were all white, but they're not. Do I think things could have been done differently? I don't see how. There's talk that, and there's a lot of information on the web that says that Freddie Gray was injured in a car accident. It says that there was a settlement with Allstate Insurance. It says that he had surgery, spinal surgery. Well, if any of that's true, it can also always easily be verified. Why isn't Fox News looking into that? Why aren't there legal beavers searching for the truth? We'll see what happens. I think that Marilyn Mosby is in a no-win situation. And I think she's sort of been set up by Stephanie Blake, the mayor of Baltimore. She's been set up because she's been sort of baited with that comment that, well, the statement that Marilyn Blake made when she said If, with the nation watching, 3 black women at 3 different levels can't get justice and healing for this country, you tell me where we're going to get it in our country. This woman needs to be muzzled. She's dangerous, and every time she opens her mouth, she brings Baltimore one step closer to chaos. That's sort of what I think. Watch the video, listen to the friend of one of the cops. All of their lives, I think, are in the balance. No matter what Marilyn Mosby rules, their lives will never be the same. No different than Officer Darren Wilson in that Ferguson, Missouri mess. You notice how the Governor Nixon, skated free? No further repercussions against him? No repercussions against the less than honorable previous Attorney General Ray Holder Jr., who was ready to crucify Officer Darren Wilson? And Officer Darren Wilson is being sued by the family of Michael Brown. You know, the stepfather that said, "Burn this bitch down, burn this bitch down." Nothing happened to him. Isn't that inciting a riot? One would think so. And it would be if we had a true Department of Justice. But we don't. We'll see how this Baltimore fiasco plays out. I don't think it'll be good for anyone. Watch the video. Let me know what you think. You sort of know what I think.